Non-alcoholic beer is certainly catching on, so much so that some of our favorite breweries have created some of their very own, and we couldn't help but venture up to Potosi and try theirs.
We are here in beer's hometown, Potosi, Wisconsin, with Rick and Kyle. Fellas, thanks for having us.
Glad to be here. Thanks, Dave.
Rick, what do you do around here?
I'm the general manager of the facility.
General manager. And Kyle?
I'm the production manager here.
General and production. So you guys are busy beavers around here. We're here at the beginning of a new year, and a lot of folks like to do dry January. The holidays maybe gets away from you. Maybe you were doing an Advent beer calendar and you've decided, I should probably take a break for a little bit. But you don't want to take a break from the delicious flavor of beer. So how can you do that? How can you have the best of both worlds? And the answer is something that has become incredibly popular in the last couple of years, and that's what they call your NA beer. What is it about this sector? I mean, it's blowing up. People, and I know people do it beyond dry January or sober October or whatever they're doing. I know there are people that are drinking non-alcoholic beer all the time. Why do you think that is?
I think just the better for you category has become really popular lately. We've seen that here, that we contract now for probably 3 or 4 different places that have NA options, and just the better for you and just people that are abstaining from alcohol for different reasons, whether that's medical or just time off or anything like that.
What percentage would you guess of breweries, you're not under oath, just a ballpark guess, I mean, are they all going to be doing NA here, you think, before too long, or is it half of them? How many of them generally are getting involved in this sector?
At this point, I'd say there's probably 50% are come out with NA beers, but I would say the entire category is looking at it after seeing the success of the beer industry and the NA beers over the last couple of years.
I want to ask you very specifically about this beer. This is Golden Brew, radiant and crisp. And when did how long has this beer been available? When did you start rolling this one out?
We launched this brand in 2022. Okay. We saw the category increasing and we thought that we should get into the game.
What we went into with low expectations, not thinking we would sell a lot, but it's done way more than we had originally anticipated.
But when you were rolling it out, you said your expectations were low. Like, how low, and help me understand how things developed from there.
We anticipated maybe just selling a couple thousand cases right off the bat, once we get it into the market and people start buying and just seeing what it does. But it's blown our expectations away, and we've sold a lot more than that. And it's done so well, we're actually coming out with another Potosi IPA NA in the future here.
So that'll be out, and by the time you're watching this, that should be out. So the IPA, what's that going to be like?
It's a hazy IPA. What do you think of a traditional hazy in color, tropical, fruity? We're really excited about it. We've been doing some test batches up at the brew pub with some different IPAs, and we have some on tap up there, and we've gotten some feedback, and we're excited to bring this one out.
The non-alcoholic beer here is called Golden Brew. What's the recipe like? What am I about to enjoy? What's this? What kind of hops? What kind of?
It's gonna be real easy drinking. It kind of gives you a toasty taste to it. Just something that we wanted to come out with, one that the average consumer would enjoy.
I know that you, at Potosi, you make a couple different golden ales. I mean, the Varsity is the one that people go nuts for, right? Mm-hmm. This is not going to taste anything like that. Completely different recipe.
A little bit darker in flavor, a little bit more malty, and a little more flavorful.
Okay. You mind if I have a quick sip?
Only if we can.
No, let's do it. Cheers. So this is a Golden Brew, again, from Potosi. This is available wherever you get your delicious Potosi beers. I mean, it seems really kind of understated, the NA on the labeling here, and that's done intentionally.
Correct. I said we want that sense of belonging when you're having it, that you're not screaming, sticking out to people that it's an NA.
If I'm at a tailgate, I'm not screaming out, I'm the guy that has to drive the RV tonight.
Correct.
I can stand and play bags and have all the fun that I want without.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Golden Brew, Potosi. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
My New Year's resolution was that I was going to stop using the word crushable, because we've all heard that too much. This is crushable, though. First show of the year, I've already broken my New Year's resolution. This is exactly the kind of beer you want, doing anything you're doing where you would be drinking beer with the guys or family members, or this is perfect for all of that stuff. When you are brewing a non-alcoholic beer, I mean, from what we've learned on the years doing this show, the alcohol is part of the process, the yeast and the sugar, and it creates the alcohol that we enjoy, although not on today's show. How challenging is it to remove alcohol? Are you removing the alcohol, or how do you get a beer to be an NA beer?
We're actually not removing the alcohol. We use a specific yeast that actually, when it creates the alcohol, it's at a lesser volume, and then we watch it very closely.
So when the yeast is doing its magic, it's doing it in just a greatly reduced...
Correct.
Okay.
And when it starts to ferment, we pull the yeast out of it then, and that's where we get the NA.
So you still get the great beer flavor without the alcohol.
The beginning process is exactly the same as brewing a regular beer.
But you're on top of it more, or are you interrupting something, or?
You are interrupting it, the yeast process, yes.
If you were to use that yeast and leave it alone, what would that be like?
It would eventually create a normal beer.
Okay. I'm just wondering, because you're saying it's a different yeast than you would use for regular beers.
Yeah, it is a little bit different yeast.
Because it does the process at a slower rate.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So this yeast has been raised to dry very slowly.
Yes.
And then you yank it before it makes any trouble in the beer.
Correct.
That sounds just fantastic. One of my favorite parts of doing Brewed is they drive me around, so I don't ever have to worry about driving. But I almost could drive home after this. I'm not going to, but I could. This is just outstanding. Golden Brew, it's an NA from Potosi, and this is available everywhere, and the IPA is something that we should look for on the store shelves here pretty soon, if it's not there already.
Starting in January, you should see it all over.
Does it have a name that you can share with us?
Potosi IPA.
Potosi IPA NA. Look for the little tiny NA. It's very understated. Fellas, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. And just to be clear, you are still making lots of beer that has alcohol in it.
Yes.
Because February will be here soon. Perfect. Cheers. And so this is the kind of beer you could have if you're out, and I suppose a designated driver could have this sort of thing. Maybe if you're looking to have a couple of beers before you perform brain surgery, this would be the kind of thing that you would want to do.
In the summertime, out on the river.
Right.
Out boating.
Well, that's it, right? So if you're out boating, right, and you have to drive the boat, it sucks to be you, but somebody's got to be sober driving the boat. This is perfect for that kind of scenario,
Absolutely.
right?
It gives them a sense of belonging with it too, while their buddies, their family, whoever is drinking it, they can have this and feel like they're still a part of it.